Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Hyperion-Blue-GT Champion, and now I'm about to go and get everything set up here on Gran Turismo Sport. Well, right now that I'm on the Livery editor, that I'm gonna go and get everything set up here for another To Drama fan art design. Well, looks like I'm about to go and make another TD Livery design on Hero. Well, yeah. Definitely, I'm about to make another TD Livery design on Hero with the Honda NSX Gr.4. Well, originally, I just already did the Gr.3 because, well, definitely it's quite very awesome for this NSX. Alright, now let's just go and get everything started. So what else am I gonna have to pick any kinds of colors? It's gonna be very hard for a little bit better for a 3 contestant. But eventually, I just really like Harold a lot. Well, he does a lot of beatbox, doing some mad skills. Well, speaking of mad skills, good thing I'm about to go and do some of my very own mad skills to create this NSX. It's gonna be very hard to pick any kinds of color. So anyway, now I might really think that this is gonna be turns out very specifically. So the green one, Dark Candy Metallic, is definitely quite very good. Definitely also reminds of that he's just wearing his pants for it. So looks like let's just give it a try and see how it goes. But by the way, well, good thing commentary is finally goes on right now. So yeah, I kind of think I really need to change a little bit colors on the aerodynamic wing. Well, definitely. How about a little bit dark orange? Might be a little bit. Well, that was wicked. Well, I kind of think I might better have to go and pick on some different kinds of styles. Definitely quite very good to exclusively. Alright, now let's just go on over to zoom in and choose some different kinds of aftermarket rim style. Alright, the wheel been chosen is the BBS RECL. That could be quite very useful for it. Now, eventually, the windshield banner and the racing number have been placing in for it as well. But I kind of think Harold is the 9th contestant to be participating in To Drama Island. Yep. Entry number 9 is definitely quite going well for this one. Oh yeah, definitely the rim style might be definitely just come up what it needs. A little bit dark blue might be quite very good of it. Well, definitely B7 chrome might work up a bit. Well, maybe unless Well, seems like it. That might be work very well. Alright, now the side mirror is definitely quite very good. Now, on the looks of it, it also turns out to be lightish red. Well, maybe let's just do a little color palette. That might be quite very easier. There we go. That's all been placed up to it. Alright. Now let's just go and get started on making a good livery design. Now it's time to bring our favorite guy in. Well, maybe let's just expensive up a little bit. That's better. Huh. Awesome. That's definitely awesome for the right start. So, I might say let's just go and pick up and come up very more stylish. Well, kind of think of it, I might go with this pattern. It does quite very need to be awesome. Alright, now let's just go and pick any kinds of color. Well, if eventually. Let me check something else here on the To Gr.4 Wikipedia on the style board. So yeah, I might have to get a little small lore about him. Oh yeah, so definitely Harold is a skinny, awkward looking guy. He takes immense pride in his numerous mad skills. Although he isn't much to look at and is often disrespected by many other contestants, including his own teammates. Harold is actually an incredibly resourceful young man of many talents and has won several challenges both for himself and his various teams. Harold's geeky interest is somewhat poor personal hygiene and know-it-all personality often make him an outcast along with his fellow contestants and perfect target for Duncan. Well, definitely Harold was been bullied by Duncan throughout in season 1 and 2, although Duncan hates Harold for his uncool ways and Harold hates Duncan for his bad attitude. It appears that the two have been begrudging respect for one another at the same time. Well, definitely that's the best conflict for Harold after all, because, well, he has a hard time trying to deal with Duncan at all. But gosh, I cannot believe it that he's just been having a little bit struggling on going before that. So yeah, kind of think that Harold is one of our total drama characters of all time, and definitely he has some good friends, including the dream girl that he likes was Lashana. Well, probably it is. I'll just make sure I'm just gonna have to get saved up here for giving a full story about him. Alright, that's better. Now let's just replace it here and make it better to be, well, almost a little bit. Now I kind of think, let's just scroll down and pick this shape and probably give it a little transport and see how it works. Maybe on this, that gives me an idea. Let's just make it a little bit half. And then duplicate. There, that's kind of a little bit better, but it also needs a little more color on it. Alright, let's get started and have some more decals to be putting on the front side. Now let's just add the full end in sportswear. Now time to add the Toll Drama Ireland logo in it because that's part of a Season 1. Well, maybe unless I might better have to change the color layout type. That'll make it something much very cool. Well, definitely almost wicked. Meh, maybe it worth a shot. Alright, let's just move it on over on the front of the car door and slide that logo in it. And eventually 3 To Gr.4 logos that he just competes. Well, let's just say To Gr.4 Action. And Ta World Tour as well. Okay, that's better. Kinda looks a bit. I might need to add a little Gran Turismo logo on it, because Gr.4 was definitely made by
baby.
Well, kind of thing it's behind. There you are. Time to put this NSX GT right here. Just give it a little rotation to make it much better. Size them up. There you go. Now, what else some aftermarket logos needs next? Well, kind of thing I almost forgot putting on the driver name on it. Gosh, almost forgot. Okay, well, the aftermarket is BBS. Let's just put it right here. Well, might need to add Cartoon Network's logo on it. So yeah, I'm just always making another Total Drama fan art to give a little support to the TD community. That would be very much awesome to see it very cool in GT Sport. Alright, so probably might need to have a little fictional logos to see which kind of logos might be very efficient. Well, kind of think of it, there might be some Japanese logos on it because, well, Harold likes Japan because that could be very awesome for him to do some of his crazy martial arts skills like hi-ya. Well, definitely it is. Okay, well, this one does very good for it. Don't worry, I might better have to save the Canadian flag to be putting in as a checkpoint. The Famistu. Well, definitely it is Japanese type. Let's just say I'm gonna have to put it anywhere. Well, how about this spot? That does give a little helpful. Okay, now time for a little need for IGN. Well, definitely it's time for a little car brand needed to put a Honda logo with a letter and symbol on it. That could be quite very efficient, just like maybe sometimes race modifications in Gran Turismo 1 was definitely seen. Well, let's just say I might need to use it for it. Ah, there it is, right next to Chevrolet. Now let's just paint it in white, and probably it is. Okay, so what else is the aftermarket logo type to be probably putting in for it? Well, maybe at least Bridgestone was actually a TAR aftermarket logo. Let's just put the IGN logo right here and add this room for one more. Okay, time to put the Takata. Well, definitely that's quite newly approached, but especially well, I might forget to add the Gran Turismo Association logo right into it. Time to go pro for this decal. Okay, well, kind of thing I might be adding up with YouTube logo. And, of course, the debit art as well. Now might be the right time to do this, placing up the Canadian flag. Alright, now for the final touches is the signature name on it. Well, actually, just giving 2 might be better for sure. But I'll just make sure I'm gonna have to get back and do a little design on the hood. Alright, now it's time for a little adding up another layer type. Now time to make it very cool and make it very awesome. Well, probably this type of a layer of this shape could give it a try. Now let's just... Well, probably this might be giving a little bit skewing problem. Let's just decline and start over with a fresh one. Well, maybe in fact, probably this kind of a shape could give it a try. Okay, well, what else next? It was definitely quite very good and almost unspecifically. Let's just change it up a little bit. Alright, let's see how it works. Maybe this layer could be doing this good. So I'll make sure I'm about to make it much larger it is. Alright, let's see how it goes. Well, definitely much, but it was not bad. Okay, wicked style of that hood. Now time to putting up some decals. But I might say a little bit hard attachment to be quite very efficiency very well for it. Well, kind of think of it. Let's just say on the other side, or maybe that's the right spot. But I know I'm just making a better relationship for Hero and Lashana. Well, let's... Ooh, this is gonna be harder than it is. Definitely I might have to decline it and probably leave it as some simple, cool aftermarket decals. Alright, time to make it some very cool Japanese style. Well, kind of think of it, still got some of the course logo. Might be very useful. Okay, well, definitely Suzuka circuit was kind of very Japanese letters on it. Let's just give it a shot and see how it works for this livery. Now, I kind of think this is quite very a little bit Total Drama style font on the Gran Turismo. Well, probably not suitable for this on the hood. Well, maybe unless it is. Alright, now it's time to take a little bit more detail to be differently on the hood. Well, maybe unless I'm about to replace the original spot and put the AMT right on the correct spot. Okay, well, that looks better. Now, I kind of think this spot could definitely needs a little bit more hood style ornament, but definitely I'll just leave it to it right now. Let's just put the Total Drama logo right here on the front. And what else next here on the bottom front row? Well, definitely BNC Racing might work. I'll just make sure I'm gonna have to concentrate and visualize very visionary with all that work. Probably it is. Well, that's better. Now let's just say let's do a little toe mark upgrade to be needed to put it right here. Whoops. Definitely right the spot right here where the toe hook was been. Definitely right exactly here. Now time to take on both sides with Japanese aftermarket brand. But now, let's just say add a little Bridgestone logo right here on both sides. There's the Livery digital. Alright, well that's better. Well, definitely just giving it a little bit pinpoint to be used the GT Planet. Alright, time to putting out some mad skills to be place all the decals on the left and put it into the right. Well, maybe on less a bit. Hang on. Just gonna add another one in. But maybe a little bit beatboxing montage does give a little chance of it. Well, probably after this, just time for a little color changing rhythm. That's definitely quite very good for it. Okay, well, let's just see. Let's just get started here for a little topics about him on To Gr.4 Island. Well, Harold is the ninth person to arrive at Camp Wa'onaga in Not So Happy Campers Part 1. Unlike the other contestants who are disappointed by the island, Harold is satisfied claiming that it is most favorable to his skills. When Lashana arrives, Harold's social ignorance leads him to accidentally mistake an intensive remark about her appearance and, well, behavior by calling her real big and loud. Lashana misinterprets this as an insult and probably tries to attack him, and, well, DJ and Bridget was restraining Lashana, and evidently Harold is about to do a little kung fu skills. Well, it was quite very, almost a bit. Well, can't think of it, not to be too much for it. Oh yeah, definitely Harold is actually part of the Killer Bass, and where he's immediately met hostilely from Duncan. Well, in the first challenge, ouch! I cannot believe Harold just painfully landed on his couch. Well, his foul luck continues in the hot tub building challenge, where he continuously gets accidentally hit by objects while the team working. Harold's team ends up in a faulty hot tub and loses the challenge. Well, definitely same clumsy effect from Bridget. Well, she didn't know where he was. Watching out for. Link due to his poor physical skills. Harold is constantly blamed for his team's loss by Courtney. While such instances include the big sleep where Courtney belittles him for coming in last, as well as scolding him for snoring too loudly in dodgeball. Well, definitely it is. Harold did some nice roller skill reflex in the dodgeball challenge, but I cannot believe it, he dodged so many dodgeballs that he can avoid getting hit. And not quite famous. Well, Harold's talent was beatboxing, but hey, can't think of it. This might be the right time to do this by changing a lot of colors for doing a little Alrighty then. Well, before I'm about to save this library, I might say let's just tone down the sound menu and make it much better. So I kind of think let's just reduce it to 20 and let's just give it a little beatbox recommendation. Alright, well, I don't know where it all comes down to this. Let's just say let's just go and take a little rhythm color beat. What might give a little random call to be exactly for a bit. Let's just start out with a red. While you guys really want to enjoy listening to Harold's beatbox talent. Alright, here we go, and let's see how it turns out. Just any minute now. Okay. Well, looks like definitely almost like kind of think of it that the random color that I just stopped at is white one liquid metallic. Well, that looks definitely quite very silvery cool, but I kind of think of it, I'm just gonna go and pick this color and, well, I hope you enjoying listening to this beatbox rhythm made by Harold. But yes, let's just change back over to normal on the menu BGM. But I kind of think of it, let's just wrap this up and change it back to normal. Alright, well, let's just go and keep this color type as this one, and probably, well, maybe, yeah, it would be quite very efficient to make it as 3 color type. Well, maybe unless, let's just mark it as Group 4. I've just already did making a Group 3 NSX, so let's just go and get everything raced up for it. and I'll be continuing on for a little lore talk. Okay, well, after the Kilobas's experience a series of misfortune and that prevents their designated talent from performing, well, definitely Courtney Bridget has really wants to send Harold out as a final act. Well, maybe you guys have already heard Harold's beatboxing, but that was definitely awesome, and well, his efforts just earned a perfect score of 9 from Chef Hatchet, winning the challenge. That's the second time in a row. Well, definitely Harold's spear was actually ninjas. Well, it also seems here in Phobia Factor, but ouch, that was an epic fail for him, trying to face some ninjas head on. So yeah, I kind of think I might have to go and get everything set up for a custom race. Kind of think let's just go over to Tokyo Expressway Central Outer Loop. Wicked track for a Japanese course. Alright, time to go and pick on Group 4. Definitely, I should probably keep continuing the rest of it. Oh yeah, definitely Harold and Duncan. Conflict interaction. Well, Harold's conflict with Duncan escalated over the season, where he finds himself repeatedly targeted by the bully for torment and pranks. This conflict reaches a peak during If You Can't Take the Heat episode, due to Harold's disgusting habit of leaving his dirty clothes around the cabin. Duncan recruits DJ and Jeff to teach Harold a lesson. When the challenge begins, Jeff secretly takes all of Harold's clothes before signaling DJ, who spills a bucket of water on Harold. The latter is forced to change out his wet clothes, and upon returning to the cabin, and he finds out that all of his pants are gone. All he finds is a thong underwear, and it's forced to wear without any pants over them. Well, definitely, I kind of like the most silly moment that Harold just actually putting on something was hot sauce, and he's saying, "My biscuits are burning." Oh man, looks like he runs up and then actually jump up into the lake to dispatch the burning effect off of his butt. Well, definitely he thinks that it's not cool. So yeah, definitely it is that the guys have soaked his underwear in hot sauce. Well, definitely with no other clothes left, Harold entered the kitchen with wearing his pajamas and tells the guys that this is his last resort, and if they want to see him naked, they could go ahead. The guys explain all they want is a confession of Harold's guilt and pranks will stop, but Harold continues to deny responsibility for leaving his clothes on the cabin floor. Jeff then offers Harold a sandwich, which he accepted due to being hungry, only to discover that the sandwich was been actually made from his own underwear. Yeesh. That's not gonna be good for a recipe of total disaster. Definitely not kind of a food at all. It's just clothing. So yeah, I kind of think I might have to go on take a little race. Probably just having an endurance race on 25 minutes. Well, eventually, I might have to go with 25-minute race. Just only goes for kicks. Oh yeah. Well, once night falls and Harold falls asleep, the guys play one last prank on him and carry the cabin bag onto the docks while he's asleep and actually naked. Harold awakens the next day to discover he is stark naked outside in plain view of several girls swimming in the lake. He finally submits and confesses his crime while promising to never leave his clothes around the cabin again. Satisfied, the guys to drop his clothes back to him. He runs in the cabin to get dressed. Well, despite having taught him a lesson. But yeah, let's just say I'm about to go and get everything started for a little test on Central Outer Loop of Tokyo Expressway. Here we go, and let's race. Alright, well, just definitely a little false start. So yeah, definitely Japan was Harold's favorite place until on the world tour. Well, definitely it was quite very awesome to see very cool things like Japanese game shows. But don't worry, on my part I have to save this one after TDI and TDA again World Tour. Welcome to Tokyo Expressway, Harold. Well, I'm thinking I'm just using the NSX Gr.4. Gosh, already? Well, definitely time for a little quick repairs. Oh yeah, eventually I still wear that same race outfit from last video. Don't worry, my crew just giving a little more testing for it. Alright, all fixed. Gosh, last place. Alright, time to go and catch up. Well, definitely despite them having its efforts. Well, this To Gr.4 Livery does also race on endurance race, but definitely giving a little drama when heavy damage is on. Okay, coming on over on the second tunnel. Come on, let's pace this Harold NSX up. Well, I kind of think this is definitely come up with a good nickname for the Honda NSX. I just call it the Harold NSX Gr.4. Well, probably that was a good name for the NSX. Alright, looks like we're going on over in the third lap. Set this up on over to the Gr.4 cars. Past that Bugatti and the Toyota 86. So yeah, despite the efforts by having a prank, well, Harold doesn't like being pranked by Duncan at all, and faces disdain. So yeah, Duncan and Jeff are pulling the prank on Harold once again, trying to teach him a lesson more. But first thought that Harold doesn't like it, well, he doesn't like being wedgie pulled on his button. He doesn't like to pull up his underwear by a fishing hook. Well, definitely Jeff just used the fishing rod to pull up the trick. Well, that was the second one then. Well, maybe the first one, well, Duncan just putting up some underwear with s'mores. And the third one, well, Harold just accidentally drank not kind of a healthy juice. But definitely Duncan just laughed at him. And, well, definitely Harold was really mad at Duncan by having a little bit of defense after he saw Duncan kissing Courtney after they stole some food from Chef Patrick's tent. In the confessional camp, well, definitely Harold is pulling up a plan to get Courtney to be folded off the island and get revenge on Duncan. Well, he says, let's see how someone can message with your love life. And he feels retaliation that he was holding up a marshmallow to think about the bad moments during this episode of this one. So yeah, in extreme torture, Harold is the black coder while Heather is driving her jet through water skiing. Well, definitely a little bit surprisingly shocked when Harold sees Heather's dress. Well, definitely they also censored to block the moment. Well, oh wow, about this, but that was awkward and hilarious. But then Harold just got buttered up when Duncan really wants to stay in the game to avenge Courtney by having revenge on Harold. Well, actually a new relationship has been formed. Well, definitely Harold just made that love letter to Lashana, and well, good thing Harold and Lashana have definitely officially now a relationship couple. Try and think of it, that is quite very best opportunity to our team. Way to go, Harold. Just fine. Got a good relationship with Lashana. Now, after the dock of shame, Harold wasn't hiding. Well, definitely Courtney was scared because he would actually push her too far, and yep, in spite of his efforts, it's like Courtney is the hunter and Harold is the haunted. Try and think of it, because yep, Courtney is really mad at Harold by using a streetlight pole to go and find him. But definitely he got caught by Courtney and getting a little payback that she's supposed to be in the final five. Well, definitely a little bit more mad interactions. A little bit much struggle for them. only got 16 minutes left. And I hope this is going to get very well for it. Well, good thing at night after the doctor came before the end of the episode. Well, definitely Harold would like to go to the company. Well, secretly he said not. But I kind of like the most hilarious part that when Harold and Tony start a little bit fighting each other, and then they could dodge off into the pool before Noah was happily surprised. The same excellent moment. But I kind of think of it, this is the right time to go over to the pits. So yeah, come a look a bit. It is. Well, Harold explains that he is frightened by Heather, dislikes Duncan, and in love with Lashana, while he wanted to support Lashana. He is blackmailed by Tony to support Duncan when Tony accidentally picks Lashana to be voted off. Well, it is definitely Harold wants to vote Duncan off. Gosh, why am I... Oh boy. That almost comes out of this damage repair. Oh yeah, in the final episode of Trolls on the Island, Harold was actually supporting for Owen. Because, well, he just wants Owen to win for the challenge, but definitely, ultimately, in Owen's inning, or probably Owen's inning, I believe. Well, 2 innings might be a curve. Well, it turns out to be. Alright, coming back over on 6th place. This race is going to get a lot of heated struggle with the 4 cars. Okay, coming in approach. Ouch! That's gonna leave a mark. Alright, a little bit more recovery back on the run. Well, it kinda looks a bit. Time for a little go back to the pits. Alright, back in the lead. Well, definitely need more repairs on the pits. Don't worry, I might need to save some time for a little fuel. Okay, awesome. Everyone is in the pits. Now, looks like this might be the right time to take some freestyle mad skills. Definitely, it'll take some time to buy it. Oh, gosh. Time for a little repair. Alright. Hyperion-Blue-GT is here. Oh yeah. Trying to think of it. Well, good thing in To Gr.4 Special. Man, cannot believe it. Lashana broke up with Hero, saying their relationship just went too fast, and the moment on the dock of shame was just fleeing. An emotional moment. Well, definitely Carol has to have accepted to break up. In the meantime, well, definitely Carol was actually participating in Race for the Case challenge. And good thing that Carol is finally paired up with Heather. Well, definitely she actually defaulted after what happened when I took a dog dare you. Well, can't think of it. Well, yeah. Harold would need to teaming up with Heather after Lashana got broke up. But in the meantime, well, good thing Harold was actually ended up in the water with the other cast, along with $1 million as well, got eaten by a shark. That's how he continues on tours on action along with Lashana as well. But probably Duncan was actually not hit in the mood for to do some going aft. Alright, well, what's next on over in tours on action about him? Well, actually, Harold was actually competes season 2 along with Lashana. Well, the thing that he was actually attempted to make a big impression for her, along with his fellow castmates. But definitely in the first challenge, well, definitely he just says love to Lashana, and she says, say what? And then they just, well, definitely that's it for it. After they just jumped up and bounced in the bounce house where different Bridget is at. Alright, looks like only got 6 minutes left. Okay, well, the replay recording has been stopped. That's a big if. Oh, sorry. Just a little burp. Alright, only 5 minutes left. I hope this race is going to be over very soon. Wow, I cannot believe I just took 15 laps. That was quite very impressive by doing the starts. Well, kind of think if this is going to be a 60-lap challenge on Tokyo Expressway as the endurance race. But yeah, this might be a pretty good idea for the next one. But just hang on for a moment here, folks. The Lord Talk will be continuing on here after this race ends. I'm just trying to keep it up for it. Alright, it's only down in 2 minutes. Hope this is going to be one big, total, fantastic fun. Wow, looks like I'm almost there by getting a little trailblazer. This might be quite very good for us. And it looks like only down to a minute. Wow, looks like that was quite very fast. last pit stop, and looks like this is gonna be close. Alright, well, let's just continuing on here. Oh yeah, from the beginning of the season, Harold attempts to make a big impression on his fellow castmates. He is chosen by Gwen to be on the screen in Gappers after claiming he is into movies in general. Through Gwen only so, trying to make him stop talking as a running gag. Well, Harold often mentions having skills. Oh geez, well, it looks like that was 7th place, but it was actually okay. Well, honestly, that was maybe wow, that was very shocking for this race. Well, it looks like this is might be quite very crazy and unexpectedly. Well, definitely the last pit stop strategy could be might be going on to right about now. Okay, well, final lap. Oh man, I cannot believe it. This is quite very funny at all. And looks like this is, well, this is just only a little bit test work. I might say it's kind of think that this is just only for a test, folks. This custom race might give a little warm-up for it. Well, in the meantime, that was going to be a little bit more humiliation. That's going to be better for worse. Or probably it is. Don't worry. I just had fun testing out this library. So yeah, let's just give a little continuing on for a little lore talk on TBA. Well, Harold often mentions having skills that he just learned from camps owned by that man named Steve. He's still clumsy like before, Harold is very eager to help his team out. Despite their breakup from last season. Well, Harold still has hold feelings for Lashana and determined to win her over. However, Lashana continues to ignore him. Due that it is hint that she still have feelings for him, as shown by how she is willing to vote out her friend Gwen in the prison movie challenge for smacking Harold on the head with a shovel. Well, definitely Gwen also plays a little bit crazy that she uses the golden shovel on it. Well, and meanwhile, Harold's conflict with Duncan escalates, as Duncan had found out that it was Harold who rigged the votes from last season against Courtney and caused her elimination. Duncan has also intensified his bullying towards Harold, who's calling him by his embarrassing middle name is Doris. Well, and mocking his failed attempts to impress Lashana. It is because their feud that both boys refused Lashana's offering of forming an alliance. When it discovered that Lashana had lied to the entire team in order to claim the reward of the previous challenge, well, definitely that also seen in the Spy Movie challenge. Harold was the only person to defend her, but it is still hurt to see her being selfish and stood so low to claiming the reward. Well, definitely, Harold just finally proved his words in every genre movies TVA. Well, in Masters of Disasters, by unlocking the hatch of the submarine during the second challenge using the skills they had picked up from Pickett Steve's Lock Pickett. This saves the entire cast from drowning during the challenge as the whole thing gone horribly wrong in Full Metal Drama, the war movie challenge. Well, Duncan and Harold clash leads to see who is better teammate when the killer are regrouped to their plan next. So, Harold forces Duncan to admit that he has respect for him deep down, to which Duncan didn't order for him to escape. Well, definitely it's despite giving a little interactions to give a little teamwork for it. Well, despite their efforts, as the season progresses, Harold's continue to clash leads with Duncan and Harold. Well, despite their arguments in the bank heist movie challenge, how often they lived in a quote for the entire challenge. Well, even so, Harold continued to defend Lashana at all times until the sports movie challenge when, well, definitely he found out along with the contestants that discovered that Lashana had been bad mouthing him, calling Harold attempt to win her over-pathetic, absolutely heartbroken. Well, definitely Harold ignored Lashana for most of the episode until he gives an apologetic cheer to everyone. As a result, Harold and Duncan forgive Lashana and blow her header instead. Well, differently until the superhero movie challenge. Well, however, the two of them team up with Duncan or Lashana off to a bit. It takes some convincing from Courtney to make Harold vote for her. During the elimination ceremony, he tearfully begged Lashana to forgive him and to accept. Harold's alliance with Justin and Duncan continuing in the Fairy Tale movie challenge and the Princess Bride. Well, the three of them are competing the first challenge with East. After Justin falls in love with Courtney, he enlists Harold's help to defeat Duncan, to which Harold agrees. However, Harold was later betrayed by Justin. The scenes mock Harold, claiming that Harold would have done it the same if Lashana is the prize. Well, definitely, Harold just listening to Princess Courtney reach the album by giving a note. Well, definitely, yeah, he just receives a letter from her not to listen to Courtney's music. Well, without any more alliances holding the back in the mystery movie challenge to get a clue, Harold trying to catch Duncan with complicated trap in order to steal his friend some DNA, only for his plan to backfire him. Later, Harold accused him of being the culprit behind Chris's murder after finding one of Duncan's hair next to Chris's corpse. Well, definitely it was a big dummy of Chris on it. Well, definitely Chris is actually uses the dummy to play dead and make the contestants trying to give a little mystery challenge to solve. Oh yeah, and in the Rock and Rule episode, Harold teams up with Lindsay and Duncan hoping that will make Courtney focus on the competition. However, Duncan is declared safe that night after, well, Lindsay accidentally broke herself off. Kind of like that hilarious part when Harold is saying rock and roll a few times, and well, he needs to work on that by doing an awesome moment. In Crouching Corky Owen episode, Harold and Duncan partner up again during the first company challenge. Well, definitely Duncan is the master to teach Harold as a student. Well, under Duncan's tutelage, Harold undergoes odd and extensive training such as waxing all of Chris's cars, doing some push-ups with Duncan, and the moves on the back and catching bees with a pair of chopsticks. While training the punching bag, Duncan managed to bring out Harold's true strength by telling him that he kissed Lashana. Well, definitely that was his biggest strength to get punched through in the punching bag. Well, after defeating the girls, the two are pitted against each other for one last challenge. Well, despite having the opportunity to do so, both of them refused to sabotage the other and even help one another to reach on top of the promise of sharing the reward together. However, somehow, Owen was definitely up to no good because under orders from Chris. Duncan tricks Harold into punching Duncan by telling him that Lashana Jr., well, definitely the snail that Harold adopted earlier in the episode. To do so, though Harold initially refused, he ultimately punches Duncan after he insulted Lashana and wins the challenge. With his newfound confidence, Harold begins to give Duncan a taste of his own medicine by putting rocks underneath his bed in a space movie challenge. Giving Duncan some backache when Harold gives questions Beth about the existence of Brady again. She mistakenly believes that Harold has a crush on her throughout the episode. But definitely the scary part when he's actually in the Vomit Comet. Duncan's pet tarantula, Scruppy, often wins up and yep, he just accidentally kills Scruppy and devastated Duncan. Well, after the challenge has ended, Harold finds out that Owen is up to something by having a true purpose for betraying them. He attempts to vote off, but definitely he got eliminated instead by Owen and Duncan for, well, Duncan's still sad about his pet tarantula Scruppy. After the insult, Harold pulls Duncan's hands down before Shep Hatchet tosses him into the limousine. Well, before being driven up, Harold just continues to warn the others to watch out for Owen. Well, definitely Chris fired him for temporarily. In the aftermath, well, Harold suggests that Duncan and Beth play a control challenge, but to end up in a tie. Well, eventually, he just made references from hole in the wall. After total drama action has ended, Harold joins Trent, Justin, and Cody to form a new boy band known as the Drama Brothers. With Harold as their beatboxer under the Alice H-bomb, it wasn't long that the band broke up and Harold decided to go solo after Trent insulted his beatboxing talents. It just shows that Harold also wrote his own biography, but it appears that the book was poorly reviewed to the point that a fan throws a copy back at him. Later, he reunited with the band before the Jammies and joined the other contestants, and stopping Chris from hosting his new show. Well, definitely Harold could come up with a plan to show the dirtbags bust by using a giant ball as a slingshot to launch chocolates at them. Well, yeah, after several events, Harold is among those who qualifies for the next season. Well, let's continuing on over in Total Drama World Tour. Harold arrives at the airport in the Egyptian challenge. He begins to comment on Owen's aerophobia, which annoying Noah and prompts him to make a sarcastic comment. Like Courtney, Harold is one of the few contestants to be excited about the idea of singing in the season. At Egypt, Harold is partnered with DJ and Lashana and are the first to make it out of the pyramid, albeit with some difficulties such as being attacked by scarabs and DJ breaking a mummified dog. They are soon joined by Lindsay, Bridget, and Ezekiel, as definitely formed as Team Victory for the next challenge. In part 2 of the Egyptian challenge, Harold mainly served as team leader, while after his teammates was been claimed by receiving a stick as the reward. He uses the weapon to defend them from sand snakes through he accidentally poked Ezekiel in the eye. After the team got lost, Harold found out that the stick was actually a diving rod and used it to guide them over to the Nile River. Well, Harold tells Ezekiel to bend up the crocodiles, but he loses the stick. Definitely sucks to be Zeke, to be eliminated in the second episode. So yeah, as before, Harold is still in love with Lashana in the Japan Challenge. Well, good thing I just picked Tokyo Expressway for a perfect country for this NSX. He shows jealousy when Lashana fawns over Alejandro. In addition to this, Lashana has seems to become less patient with Harold, frequently scolding him. Well, he corrects Chris on mixing Chinese and Japanese culture despite their destination being in Japan. Well, which annoyed. Well, definitely it was quite doing for it. In the second challenge, Harold just actually has a superior leadership and visionary skills. Although he demands what they call him sensei during the advertisement challenge. Despite of this, he just got voted up in the end of the episode. Well, definitely pretends to take a sacrifice that he stabbed himself with a toy lightsaber and takes the drop of shame. Well, without the parachute, which Chris throws him after he falls. But hey, looks like a deleted scene just been shown that Harold just landed inside in a sumo wrestler's then spot. Well, despite of Harold's return in the aftermath, he was the first contestant introduced by Jeff despite Blaney's protest as she wanted to bring in Bridget. Bridget on stage quickly. Well, definitely Blaney shows a creepy video of Harold during his time on the show. This is limited to him saying one word per scene, and the video lasts only for a few seconds. He demanded that Blaney shows the audience another video of him, prompting Blaney to show another video of him being beaten up by other campers and animals for giving them their trivial knowledge that none of them are interested. With his feelings towards Lashana were brought up, Blaney requested that Harold sing a song with Trent and Justin, serving as his backup. The Sasquatch is in for Cody, teasing the reunion of the Drama Brothers. Well, he sings Baby, which is dedicated to Lashana. Well, after the commercial break, well, Eva reveals that Harold and his bandmates were chased out of the Aftermath studio by their fans. Through Harold managed to return, while Trent has been kidnapped. Well, yeah, kind of think of it, it is. In the second Aftermath, Revenge of the Teledon, well, Harold and his fellow Drama Brothers play back up for Bridget and Jeff while they sing Save the Show. Unfortunately, they did not receive much money, and among their close first donation was Harold's mother, and after Harold promises to clean the garage when Lashana was introduced. But differently, he and Bridget served as Lashana's dancers while she sang Sisters to express their hatred for Alejandro. Well, maybe in the end, the telethon was a success, but Izzy just definitely destroyed the studio. In the aftermath, after mayhem, well, he actually helped Jeb to humiliate Blaney by playing their backup for him while he sings. Well, definitely it is. After she sent Bridget to Siberia, later Harold watches as Lashana participates in the Second Chance Challenge and was devastated when she easily knocked out by a kangaroo. Waiting to avenge her defeat, Harold jumps into the ring and challenges that kangaroo himself, and swiftly defeated by a single punch. Well, definitely talk about that he's facing Kangaroo Jack. Well, it was definitely an awesome kangaroo who always likes to do some boxing work. It is. Oh yeah, in the Hawaiian style, well, Harold calms Bridget's pet bear Bruno by giving him some kaba tea. Like majority of the contestants, Harold chooses to support Cody as he's the only left in the competition who isn't evil. Well, he volunteers to complete the challenge on behalf of Cody, wanted to help him and also show Lashana his mad surfing skills. Definitely he chooses the deer that represents Cody. Well, when he sings I'm Winning This alongside with Courtney and Owen, while he mostly checked neck and neck with Courtney during the race, he came second place after the deer eats and lets the baby carriages for Cody to use in the final challenge. In Hawaiian Punch, well, Harold continues to support Cody, and it's disappointing that he lost to Alejandro in the tiebreaker. Seeing that Cody is willing to help Heather to defeat Alejandro, Harold is supportive of him and joins him. At the lava river, Harold secretly hands off both Lindsay and Courtney until Cody managed to trick Lindsay into leaving it by giving it a distraction by doing some shopping. Well, believing that Heather now has a chance, Harold taunts Courtney, only her to kick him in the kiwis. Well, Harold Clinch is in pain, but managed to give support to Heather and tells her not to give up. After the winner is declared, Harold and the rest of the contestants run away from the island as the volcano begins to erupt. His last seen swimming away from the island with the rest of the contestants. Well, the rest of them survive. Definitely it is. Oh yeah, in Total Drama Revenge of the Island, he just made an appearance on the yacht with the other veterans as he's seen dancing alongside with Lashana and DJ. Well, definitely that's all of it here for now in the first episode. In Bigger, Flatter, Brutaler, well, he has no lines for it. So yeah, I kind of think that's all of the summary story about him, because, well, he did a lot of things here for it. In Total Drama Action, Harold has learned several of his skills from camps owned by Steve, by some various camps, such as Magic Steve's Magic Camp, Picky Steve's Block Picking Camp, and Medieval Steve's Medieval Camp. Well, definitely that's only have 3 kinds of camp was been owned by Steve, for sure. Well, some interactions that Harold just have. Well, he has a crush on Lashana, but definitely that was quite a beautiful relationship. Second, well, Harold has hard interactions with Duncan ever since Total Drama Island. Well, definitely Duncan always keeps bullying him throughout the season, and despite of this, they end up teaming up together in the Come Blue Movie Challenge when, well, it is later on until the Space Movie Challenge that he just finally made his one last revenge on Duncan by pulling his pants down and got booted off. Well, I kind of think of it, that's all of this hard work by doing this a little bit commentary, by doing this more lower bits. And there is one more thing for it. Harold is one of the 10 contestants who has full names, but in revealed was Norbert Cleaver Doris McGetty V. But the others being Alejandro, Laney, Rick, Cameron, Cody, Dakota, DJ, Lightning, and MacArthur. Well, that's one of the most Total Drama contestants has actually has full names on it. Well, definitely it is, but he is our favorite Total Drama character who always loved Lashana, and definitely he has some great math skills for this one. But definitely later on I just originally made Honda NSX Gr.3, but now Gr.4 in Gran Turismo Sport. But hey, I kind of think that's quite very good for this design here as well. Well folks, I hope you really enjoyed this live stream video. Thank you for watching, and please give a like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube, or check it out on Hyperion-Blue-GT.com to check out some cool art that you want to see. Well, thank you for watching and have a great day. And I'll see you guys next time to do some pretty awesome things in Gran Turismo Sport. Thank you and have a great day.